cohort and Simone! I decided to do my Right Under Your Nose project on Akara Toki. I went to middle school in Madison, Wisconsin, and I attended Akara Toki Middle School. Growing up, I always wondered why my school was named after him. And we were told quite often that there was a story behind it, and I think at times we were even told the story, but I never knew the context of the story. I know it had something to do with World War II, but growing up, I only thought of World War II as having to do with the Germans and Hitler and the Holocaust. I never really understood or knew that Japan was involved. So I decided that for my Right Under the Nose project, I was going to figure out why there was a school, a monument, named after Akara Toki in Madison, and what is so important about him that, you know, we should really understand his legacy. So, for a little information, this is me, middle school. Ooh. And here's another picture when I decided to... that's Desiree with the burning question about Akara Toki. So, now that we got me, middle school, out of the way, here is Akara Toki himself. So, for a little information about Akara Toki, he was born in Madison, Wisconsin in 1916. He is Japanese American. His parents were produce farmers. And right after the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, Akara Toki decided to join the U.S. Army to prove his loyalty to America. Interesting fact, only a week later, FDR ordered about 110,000 Japanese Americans into internment camps. So, if it would have been a week later, Akara Toki may not have ever been able to join the Army and become as well known as he is in the Madison area. So, here's some information about him. Once he joined the U.S. Army, he was in a racially divided troop, so it was only Japanese-born Americans, and it was all run by white Americans. So he was only allowed to fight aside other Japanese men, but his commanders were all white. And he was eventually, after training, he eventually moved to Naples, Italy. While he was in Naples, Italy, he was sent to participate in the rescue of the 1st Battalion of the 141st Infantry of the 36th Division, famously known as the Lost Battalion. This is a very famous rescue mission in World War II. In the 3 days of combat, he fought in the Champagne Campaign in France to rescue these men. While he was fighting in another battle of Mount Florido in Italy in April of 1945, he was seriously wounded in the head and had a piece of shrapnel that pierced his helmet. He was in the hospital for over 3 months, and upon his recovery, he asked to rejoin his unit. He didn't want to leave and go home. He asked to be a part of it, to continue serving with the men that he had been serving with. Eventually, he was honorably discharged, and as the war ended. And when he came back to Madison, he received a Distinguished Service Cross, the Purple Heart, a Gold Conduct Medal, the American Campaign Medal, the Europe African and Middle Eastern Campaign Medal with 3 Bronze Stars. He's very highly awarded. But it's not just for what he did there. It's what he did for his community here that makes him so important. He has continued to volunteer at the veterans hospitals all around Wisconsin. He's put a lot of effort forth in really getting to know people and make a difference. After he was done in the war, he came here and married. He raised 3 daughters here in Madison, and he's made a really big difference to the Madison community. So he's recognized, and the reason my school was named after him was because of his bravery, the difference he made in Madison, Wisconsin, and his undying loyalty to America. So here he is again. So now I understand why in the 1990s, when schools around Madison were renamed after famous people from the area, including other people were Georgia O'Keeffe and Akira Toki. He is actually the only living namesake in the Madison School District, except maybe that's Cesar Chavez. I don't know. Anyways, so that is why he and my middle school was named after him. So, yay!